This is Sharon Butler, and this is my Abacus test for my vision endorsement. I'm working with a GoPro for the first time. Bear with me. Hoping you can see that. Alrighty, our first problem is 43 plus 71. You set 4 in the tens place and 3 in the ones place, and you add 7. To add 7, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we add 1. And so our answer is 114. I believe that's correct. Question 2 is 493 plus 302. So we set 493 and we add 302. So in order to add 3, we count up 1, 2, 3, and we add nothing here, and we're adding 2 here, so 1, 2, and that should give us an answer of 795. Question 3, 74 minus 61. So we're going to set 74 and we're going to subtract 61. Alright, I have to subtract 6 tens, so that would be 5, 6, and then here I want to subtract 1. My answer is 13. Question 4. Set 731, and we're going to subtract 215. So to subtract 215, we'll subtract 2 hundreds, and we want to subtract 110, but I don't have enough to subtract 15 here. So I take 10, or borrow, and I count up the factor of 5. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My answer is 516. Question 5. Begin. It's 502 minus 374. So I'm going to begin by setting 5, 0, and 2. And I'm going to subtract 3 hundreds. And I do that by taking away 1, 2, 3. And then I'm here, I need to subtract 7, but it's not available. So what I'm going to do is borrow again the 10, and since I'm subtracting 7, I have to take away a factor of 3. And so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now here we're trying to subtract 4, and I don't have enough there, so again I've got to take this and add 2. Is that right? 2. No, excuse me, add factor of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the answer is 128. Number 6, we are going to multiply now. And I begin by setting the number 54 all the way to the left, 54. And the second number is set on a number of rods over, and we were told to say it and count it. 5, 4 times 17. So we're going to set the next number on this rod, and it is 17. Okay, for multiplication, we start from the outside. So we're going to start with our number. I did not mark 7. That is 7, excuse me. So we're going to start with our 7 times 5, and 7 times 5 is 35. So we'll start with 35, and then we're going to do the number here. It's going to be 7 times 4 is 28, and so 28 will be added 28, and then we go again, and we're going to go with the tens. 10 times 50 is 500. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to add, no, excuse me, we're multiplying. We multiply the last number, which is 1 times 4, and that gives you 4. And that's completely wrong. Okay, give me just a minute here. 9. Okay, hold one moment. Let me see what I'm doing here. Okay, I believe I found my mistake. We are working on 54 times 17. Again, we do start with the two outside numbers. 7 and 5 is 35. Next, we're going to work on the next number will be the 4 and the 7, and that's 28. And 28 goes 28. And here's where it gets complicated for me for some reason. The 10 times the 5 is 500, so it's in the hundred place. So that's where I'm going to be adding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm adding 1 times 4 here, and so I'll add 1, 2, 3, 4, and my answer should be, let's hope, 9, 1, 8. So that is correct. We can clear that one, number 6. Alrighty. The next one I have on here is multiplication of 3071, and the second number is set on the rod count 1, 2, 3. Oops, excuse me. 3071 times 4. So this is going to be the 4. Okay, so now we're going to begin on this rod, and we'll start from the outside. And we have 4 times 3000 is 12. Next, we have 4 times 0, which is a 0. Then we're going to have 4 times 7, which is 28. And our last one is 4 times 1, which is 4. And that should give us 12,284. Okay, then number 8 is where we're going to begin division. And division, we set the 392 on the right, and so that's 392. And we're going to be dividing it by 5. So I'll put that here just to remind us. So we set the divisor. First thing we ask ourselves, does 5 go into 3? No. Well, how about 5 into 39? Well, yes, it does. It goes 7 times. So on rod 4, we're going to put 7, and we're going to take 7 times 5, or 35, away. And we're now left with 42. 42, does 5 go into 42? Well, it will go 8 times. So that will be 8 times, and goes into 42, so we take away 40. And as that sets, that division is gives me 78 with the remainder of 2. Alrighty, we're going to do fractions now. We're just going to add a simple fraction. And what we're looking at is setting them, and I set them with a space in between 1 and 3, so that's 1/3 on this side, and then we're going to have 5/6 on this side. So 1/3 and 5/6 is what we're working with. So we need a common denominator. These are not the same, so excuse me. So we have to change it, and by changing it, we're going to change this to equal. To make it 6th, we're going to change it to 2/6. So 2/6 is the same as 1/3, and then all we do is add our numerators, and that would be 5, 6, 7. So we have 7/6 is the answer to 1/3 plus 5/6. The last one is decimals, and it gave me a bit of trouble. We are going to use this line as our decimal. So I'm going to set my first number 24 decimal 54, and that's my first one. And we're going to subtract 17.69. So taking away the 10 is very easy. Next, can't take 7. So what we're going to do is take 10 and add up the difference. So we're going to go 5, 6, 7. Okay, and the next one we've got here will be taking away a 6 in our first one's 10th decimal column. Can't take 6 from 0, so again we're going to have to take another one, and we'll have to add up 4. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, and the last one we've got is 9. You cannot take 9 away from 5. So again, we're going to take this here, and the difference is 5. So we're going to go, let's see. I'm a little confused at this one. It gets me every time. 5. Took that. So we've got to count up 5. Oh, since it was a 9, I just add 1. I'm sorry. That's... Oh, gonna need this one again. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. 24.54. We have 2454 with this line being our decimal. We're going to subtract 17.69. We take 1 from 2, and we go to the ones column. We're subtracting 7 from 4. We don't have enough, so we take 1, and since it's 7, we're going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we get to the ones, the tenths, excuse me, and we can't take 6 from 5, so again we're going to borrow 1, and we are going to add 4. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We get to the last one. We cannot take 9 from 5. We're going to take 1 away from it, and since it's 9, we're going to add 1. And that, as they say, is that 6.85.